All right, welcome back. This is a patrol story. This is going way back. I mean, I probably had, oh my gosh, 3 months in the field. I was a young kid, man. I didn't know what was going on. I had a really sharp trained officer working in a Latino division. At that time, not too many Latin officers, so we had maybe every given night we had probably, maybe 10 two-person units and maybe 2 Spanish speakers of all those guys. Okay, so eventually, as the department hired, got more diverse, we had more and more officers. But in those days, it was always a white officer, Caucasian, I don't say white, Caucasian officer, and a Latino officer. And all these cars were mixed because you want to have mixed cars. And so, yeah, rightly so. Yeah, people want to, you need to communicate. So this night, I don't know what I'm doing. He tells me everything. I mean, seriously, I'm surprised he didn't tell me how to go to the bathroom because I don't know how to do anything. I'm just sitting there, my eyes are wide open like a sponge. I'm watching everything he does. Okay, call comes out, and we respond to it. A major party with rocks and bottles, okay? And so we respond, and we're about 2 blocks away, and we're pulling off, all other units are pulling in, and a couple of sergeants get out. And there's all kinds of, there's a big party, and they're trying to reach us with bottles. They're not reaching us, but it's obvious these people are not friendly. Probably about maybe 80 of them, somewhere in there. A lot of them, 70, 80 people. And it doesn't really matter what ethnic group they are. I mean, they happen to be Latinos, and Latin people like myself, you're pretty hot-blooded, and you get emotional. And then I think it was a wedding. I think it was a reception after a wedding at a house. This is in a residential district. This isn't this is houses. Okay, so I'm like, okay, so the supervisor's briefing us. Okay, so what we're gonna do? He said, and more officers are arriving. We got about now we got a dozen. Now you got 15 arriving every minute. We're gonna line up on this street. We're gonna clear the street. Okay, we're gonna corral them into that yard. They have a big yard in front with a couple of cars parked, and we're going to give them a dispersal order first. And okay, fine. So we're going to do everything by the numbers. So now there's one sergeant up close in the police car giving them a dispersal order. You need to go into the house, get off the street, blah blah. Well, they're ignoring it. They're all drunk and everything else. Okay, so but the crowd has thinned a little, down to maybe 50. I'm looking. I can see people getting off and driving off, and they kind of figure maybe it's the older people knowing that the police is going to come here. I don't want no part of this because this is not going to be good. Okay, so. All right, come on. So we start lining everybody up. Okay, so we're lined up. We're walking online with our sticks out. Okay, and we didn't have helmets then in those days. We had helmets, but you don't put them on because it offends the public. So our civilian upper said, don't put it on unless there's a recognized riot. Okay, well, a reception's not a riot, so this comes in a little later. We don't put our helmets on. We don't want to offend the public. Okay, fine. So we're online, about 18, 20 of us, a couple of sergeants, and the sergeant goes, go. Sergeant yelling back. I'll call him Sergeant N. Hold your ranks, stay on line. So we're walking. Okay, we're walking. And they're yelling, go home. Okay, so we're on line. And Sergeant N's going, okay, calm down, everybody, just keep your ranks, go nice and slow, keep this nice and easy. Okay. All of a sudden now the crowd is a piece of brick. Okay. Out of the crowd, and hits a guy on the end, a seasoned trained officer, hits him in the head. Talk about we don't wear our helmets, right? We don't offend anybody. He goes down. Okay, we see a bottle coming, then we see this thing coming. All of a sudden, you're looking out the side, and you see an officer go. I mean, he's like fainting. He went straight down. He was not faking. He went on his face. So the officer run to him, and he goes, "So and so's down. So and so's down." And I'm going to premise by this. Pardon my French, but I think it shows I don't normally do this. Okay, this sergeant looks over like this, pulls out a stick. He goes, "Fucking charge!" And he just starts running. Okay. I'm sorry I'm laughing, but to this day. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And so everybody's running, talking about keeping the line. Everybody just runs, okay? So I'm running with my partner. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I got my stick out. He's in front of me. And as we run, he goes, do what I do. Okay, that's pretty much simple. Nothing simple than that. So they're running, they're screaming. These are men and women running. All you see is sticks, okay? Batoning. And I see the guy runs up with a beer ball. Somebody batons the glass out of his hand. The ball shatters. So he goes down. Somebody hits him. My partner hits one guy. I hit him too. I'm doing what I'm told. They're covering their heads. I'm ready, and they're yelling, "Get out of here!" The whole time, everybody's yelling. The cops are, "Get out of here! Get effing out of here!" And women are dragging their boyfriends' bloody heads. I mean, it was incredible. It was chaos. Not like it is now. Where you see, at least now, you'll see that, but you'll see the officers lined up there. No, this was just gone. Okay. This lasted for about 2 minutes. People screaming, running, and in 2 minutes we're already into the yard, and we ran out of people to hit, pretty much. I think I only hit a couple. I'm not sure. I'm not trying to lower what I did. I just followed what I was told. I have no idea. To this day, I probably wouldn't do that. I would just shove people, but in those days, I'm a young rookie. I don't know what's going on. I got an officer down over here. This supervisors yelling F words. Oh my gosh, So anyway, so they had people hooked up over here, arrested over here. They might have arrested a dozen people. We didn't arrest anybody. We were just doing what they call stick time. And so we just, okay, we get down, we reassemble, and they're over there. The officer's already in an ambulance. Forget the ambulance. He was put in a police car, and he was taking code 3 in the police car. They didn't want to mess around with an ambulance. I don't have time for that. So I see the police car take off, and that's so-and-so, he's gone, and he seems to be okay, and okay, fine. So we go, okay, everybody go back to their cars and go handle radio calls. So I walk back to my car, and I look at my stick, got some notches on it. Know where that came from, because I noticed that because my stick's brand new. I was just been out of the academy, never used it except for hitting rubber dummies, right? I must have hit human dummies, I guess. Anyway, so I look at it and put it in the car and make a U-turn. I go, is everything okay? He goes, you did good. We just drove off. Like nothing happened. It's like, this is crazy. So then later on we had chow, and then finally I just said, well, is this normal? He goes, well, the effing charge was not normal. Usually we can, so now we can explain what normal is. We line up, we go through the crowd, we tell everybody to move. Somebody doesn't want to go, we grab him, put the cuffs on him. And he says, normally it runs pretty smooth like that, but with seeing that officer go down, I think this supervisor wigged out, and you gotta back him up. He can't go in there by himself. You got 45, 50 people out there. So we just basically, he goes, that was unusual too, but I've done a couple of those before. And I go, oh, he goes, you excited about it? I go, yeah, it was pretty cool. I was pretty excited. He goes, good, you'll make a good cop, that's good. I said, well, I don't know about that. But he goes, oh, you did good. And that was it. We just drove off and handled some radio calls and wrote a couple of tickets. And I'm thinking, I've only been there like a month. I'm going, is this the way it's going to be? It just, it's like firemen, right? You sleep and relax, then you fight a fire for, 2 hours, on top of roofs and everything. And you come back and you go back to sleep again. It's like, this is what it's going to be like. My heart's going to go like this for the next 30 years. And he was right. For the next 35 years, exactly what happened. Low, high, which is why most men and women now come on to the department. There's a lot of highs, a lot of lows, but it's very enjoyable. Hope you enjoyed that, and F in charge. Okay, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.